Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. This is level A1 beginner ESL listening, and this is lesson 5. Today we're going to be talking about the verb to be and how to ask and answer yes or no questions using the verb to be. Okay, so we might ask, who is that, or who's that? And the answer would be, he's David. He's a designer. So see if you can answer these using the information that's given. Who's that? Well, you would say she's Beth. She's a dentist. Who's that? She's Eve. She's a lawyer. Who's that? He's Ekos. He's a farmer. Who's that? She's Liza. She's a student. Now here are some yes or no questions that you can ask using the to be verb. Is he your friend? And a possible answer would be yes, he is. Is she a doctor? No, she isn't. She's a dentist. All right, so for questions with to be, we invert the subject and verb, and invert just means that they switch places. So instead of he is a doctor, which is a statement, to make that a question, he and is just switch places, and it would become, is he a doctor? But when you're writing, don't forget to add the question mark at the end. So the sentence structure would be verb, then subject, and then whatever it is that you want to ask. So, am I your classmate? Are you Harry? Is he Brazilian? Is she happy? Is it on the map? Are we on time? Are you students? Are they your friends? And you notice the verbs follow the same pattern as when we're doing statements in the simple present. So with I, we always use am. With he, she, and it, we use is. And for everything else, we use are. All right, so it says use the correct form of the verb to be, and then change it into a question. So you can pause the video, try these on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. Okay, the first one would be, it is a cat. They are students. She is Italian. She is a teacher. Now, if we want to change these into questions, this would be, is it a cat? Here, are they students? Is she Italian? And finally, is she a teacher? All right, and then look at the short answers to the questions with the verb to be. So, is it a bird? No, it isn't. Are they students? Yes, they are. Is she French? No, she's not. Is she a teacher? Yes, she is. So study these closely because we use these a lot in English. two sets of negative answers. We could say yes, I am, or no, I'm not. So there isn't any contraction for am and not. The contraction is you contract the words I and am. So you can't say amn't. There's no amn't. Sometimes you'll also hear people say ain't, which they try to use as a contraction for am not, but it is not correct. It's not a contraction for am not. But you may hear even native speakers say, I ain't a doctor or I ain't a lawyer, but it's not correct. So don't use ain't. Okay, so here are the positive answers. Yes, I am. Yes, you are. Yes, he is. Yes, she is. Yes, it is. Yes, we are. Yes, they are. And with the negative, for everything except I, there are two ways to make the contraction. So no, I'm not. No, you're not. We contract the words you and are. So that's how we come up with your. Here we're contracting the words are and not. So no you're not or no you aren't. They're both correct. Both mean exactly the same thing. Same thing here with he's. We're contracting he and is, and here we're contracting is and not. So no he's not, no he isn't, no she's not or no she isn't, no it's not or no it isn't, no we're not or no we aren't, and no they're not or no they aren't. Okay, so give some short answers. And it says give two answers if possible. So are they spiders? Well, you might say no, they aren't, or no, they're not. So no, they aren't, or no, they're not. They're butterflies. Is she happy? No, she's not, or no, she isn't. How about C, the ice cream? Is it hot food? Is ice cream hot food? B, no, it isn't. Or no, it's not. And letter D, is it an eagle? No, it isn't. No, it's not. And are they mountains? Yes, they are. All right, we're going to listen to a recording, but it says answer these questions before you listen. So which of these is not a female name? Sally, Lisa, Rachel, or Tony? Well, Tony, when it's spelled this way, is generally not a female name. There are some women who are called Tony, but it would be spelled with an I and not a Y at the end. So we'll say that Tony is not the female name. Which of these words means a person? Guy, stuff, thing, or it? Well, guy is an informal word for a man, so guy would be a person. And which of these is not a school subject? Science, French, lunch break, or music? Even though you might have a lunch break at school, it is not one of the school subjects. Okay, so let's listen to this recording.
Who's that?
It's Sally.
Is she a student?
No, she's not.
So is she a teacher?
Yes, she's a teacher. She teaches French.
And what about that guy? Is he a teacher too?
Yes, he's a teacher. Wait, no, he's not a teacher. He's a student.
Who are they?
That's Tony and Alice. They're students. And they're all in our class.
Okay. All right, now we're going to listen again and then answer these questions. Is Sally a student? What does Sally do? Is Tony a teacher? And does Alice work at the school? Let's listen again.
Who's that?
It's Sally.
Is she a student?
No, she's not.
So is she a teacher?
Yes, she's a teacher. She teaches French.
And what about that guy? Is he a teacher too?
Yes, he's a teacher. Wait, no, he's not a teacher. He's a student.
Who are they?
That's Tony and Alice. They're students. And they're all in our class.
All right, we'll listen to these one by one and answer the questions.
Who's that?
It's Sally.
Is she a student?
No, she's not.
Okay, so he said, is Sally a student? And the answer was no, she's not. Or he could have also said, no, she isn't. Both of those would be correct. Either no, she's not, or no, she isn't. What does Sally do?
So is she a teacher?
Yes, she's a teacher.
Okay, so what does Sally do? She's a teacher, and she teaches French.
Teaches French.
And what about that guy? Is he a teacher too?
Yes, he's a teacher. Wait, no, he's not a teacher. He's a student.
Who are they?
That's Tony and Alice. They're students.
Okay, so is Tony a teacher? No, because he said Tony and Alice were students, so no, he's not, or no, he isn't. And does Alice work at the school? Well, no, he said that Tony and Alice were both students. And so here we've got a new form because we start with does. So we would say, no, she doesn't. She doesn't work at the school. All right, so in everyday normal speech, we'll say he's a teacher, not he is a teacher. They're both correct, but in informal speaking, we generally use the contraction, he's a teacher. She's a student, we would probably say instead of she is a student. They're my friends instead of they are my friends. It's a book instead of it is a book. And I'm tired instead of I am tired. Now these aren't wrong. All of these are correct. And it wouldn't make a big difference if you said them. It would just sound a little bit too formal for conversation. All right, so we're going to listen again and fill in the gaps as we go.
And what about that guy? Is he a teacher too?
Yes, he's a teacher. Wait, no, he's not a teacher. He's a student.
Who are they?
That's Tony and Alice. They're students. And they're all in our class.
So it says, can you hear the contracted form? So let's listen again and pay particular attention to the contracted forms.
And what about that guy? Is he a teacher too?
Yes, he's a teacher. Wait, no, he's not a teacher. He's a student.
Who are they?
That's Tony and Alice. They're students. And they're all in our class.
Okay, so he's not, he's, there, and there. So those are the contractions that you need to practice listening for. All right, so next you're going to read this text. You can either pause the video and read on your own, or you can follow along as I read. This is a photo of my family. That's me on the left. Next to me is my brother Ivan. In the middle of the photo is my dad, and Mom is on the right. Between Mom and Dad is my youngest brother. In the other photo, you can see my brother Ivan with his cousin Max. Okay, so it says a young woman is talking about her family. So before listening, we're going to read the statements, and after listening, we'll decide whether these statements are true or false. So number one, her mother is 40 and she has blonde hair. She has an uncle named Robert. She has cousins called Asha and Tom, and her grandmother has 2 sisters. So let's listen.
Tell me about the people in this photo.
Well, this is my mother. She's 45. She has brown hair. She is quiet.
Who's this? Next to her.
That's my uncle, Uncle Robert. He's a lawyer. And next to him is Sophie, his wife.
And what about in this photo?
That's Asha and Tom. They are my cousins. And next to them is their dog Wiley.
And in this photo?
That's my grandmother, Elsa. These are her sisters, Elizabeth and Delia. Her brother is not in this photo.
Okay, we'll listen again and give the answers as we hear them. So her mother is 40 and has blonde hair.
Tell me about the people in this photo.
Well, this is my mother. She's 45. She has brown hair.
Okay, so this would be false because she said her mother is 45 and she has brown hair, not blonde hair. Okay, she has an uncle named Robert.
She is quiet.
Who's this? Next to her.
That's my uncle, Uncle Robert.
Okay, so that is true. She has an uncle named Robert, so that's true. She has cousins called Asha and Tom.
He's a lawyer. And next to him is Sophie, his wife.
And what about in this photo?
That's Asha and Tom. They are my cousins.
Okay, so that's true. She has cousins called Asha and Tom. And her grandmother has 2 sisters.
And next to them is their dog Wiley.
And in this photo?
That's my grandmother, Elsa. These are her sisters, Elizabeth and Delia. Her brother is not in this photo.
Okay, so her grandmother has 2 sisters. That's true. That brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, and share. Also, you can put any questions or comments that you'd like answered, and I hope to hear from you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.